Welcome to Headphone News, Seattle edition for Sunday, December 15, 2024.
Concerns among asset managers over climate initiative. A report from a U.S. congressional committee has raised worries among major asset managers like BlackRock and State Street about their involvement in a climate initiative. These firms fear that joining could lead to government oversight and claims of secret cooperation. The report highlights that BlackRock manages around $26 trillion in assets. Back in 2019, BlackRock hesitated to participate in joint efforts with investors, and State Street shared similar concerns in 2020. These findings reveal a growing conflict between financial interests and environmental advocacy in the United States.
Federal Reserve meeting and market update. The Federal Reserve is preparing for an important meeting, where they might announce possible cuts to interest rates. Investors are expecting a reduction of 25 basis points. Recently, the Nasdaq Composite Index reached 20,000 for the first time, reflecting a significant 32% rise this year. The S&P 500 index also saw an increase of 27%. Strong economic growth and ongoing inflation are shaping investor expectations. These developments emphasize how crucial the Federal Reserve's decisions are for both the economy and the stock market.
Supreme Court to hear Wisconsin tax exemption case. The United States Supreme Court is hearing a case involving the Catholic Charities Bureau in Superior, Wisconsin. This case is asking for a religious exception from the state's unemployment tax. If the court supports the Catholic Charities Bureau, it could change tax rules for similar groups across the country. This decision may also impact how states handle tax exemptions related to religious freedoms.
Trump's proposal to end daylight saving time. Donald Trump, the president-elect of the United States, wants to put an end to daylight saving time. He describes this practice as troublesome and expensive. Daylight saving time has been observed in the United States since the 1960s. Some lawmakers want to keep the current system, while others support switching to standard time all year round. Many people are divided on this issue, especially when it comes to how changing the clocks impacts our health and daily routines.
Car theft incident at U.S.-Canada border. Authorities reported a car theft at the Peace Arch border crossing between Surrey, British Columbia, and Blaine, Washington. Around noon, officials from the Royal Canadian Mounted Police responded to a report of a stolen vehicle. The driver ignored commands from U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers and fled into the United States. During the chase, the driver hit another vehicle and nearly struck a border officer. Sheriffs from Whatcom County pursued the driver for about 50 kilometers. Officers used a method to stop the vehicle. The driver was arrested and found with a large knife. The accusations against the individual include serious assault and having a stolen vehicle.
British Columbia's response to U.S. tariff threats. British Columbia Premier David Eby is supporting actions against the United States after President Donald Trump warned of a 25% tax on Canadian goods. Trump is targeting issues related to immigration and drug control. Eby emphasized the importance of British Columbia's exports to the U.S., highlighting that the province sold over $1 billion Canadian dollars worth of electricity last year, which is about $740 million US dollars. This situation raises concerns about the potential economic impact on Canadian consumers and businesses.
EPA's decision on California's vehicle plan. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency is still deciding on California's plan to stop selling gasoline cars by 2035. This plan requires that 4 out of 5 new cars sold in the state be electric, with 1 out of 5 allowed to be hybrid models. This decision is important for California's goal to cut down on greenhouse gas emissions and support cleaner cars. The outcome will have big effects on car manufacturers and buyers across the United States.
Deyna Castellanos supports young female athletes. Deyna Castellanos, a midfielder for Bay FC in California, is making a significant impact on young female athletes from Venezuela. She founded the Queen Deyna program to provide scholarships and opportunities for girls and young women in sports and education. After studying at Florida State University in the United States, Castellanos is dedicated to creating better chances for female athletes. Her program inspires young women through sports, drawing from her own powerful experiences.
Trump's plan for the U.S. Postal Service. Donald Trump, the President-elect of the United States, is considering turning the U.S. Postal Service into a private company. Since 2007, the Postal Service has lost over $100 billion. For the financial year that ended on September 30th, it reported a loss of $9.5 billion, which is $3 billion more than the previous year. Trump discussed this plan with Howard Lutnick, his choice for Commerce Secretary, at Mar-a-Lago in Florida. This change could significantly impact the online shopping industry, especially for major companies like Amazon that rely on the Postal Service for their deliveries.
Novo Holdings completes Catalent purchase. Novo Holdings has completed the purchase of Catalent, a U.S. drug maker, for $16.5 billion United States dollars. This deal is set to boost the production of Wegovy, a well-known weight loss drug. As part of the agreement, Novo Holdings will sell 3 factories in Italy and Belgium to Novo Nordisk for $11 billion United States dollars. The deal is expected to be finalized soon.
Methane emissions from landfills in the U.S. A recent study reveals that landfill sites are significant sources of methane emissions in the United States. Researchers from Carbon Mapper, Arizona State University, and the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency examined 217 landfills across 17 states, including California and Arizona. They discovered that about 50% of these landfills released detectable methane. Even those equipped with technology to capture gas still emitted a considerable amount of methane. This research emphasizes the urgent need for improved management of landfill emissions to help address climate change.
John Thune's new role in the U.S. Senate. John Thune is set to become the new Republican leader in the U.S. Senate on January 3, 2024. As a senator from South Dakota, he faces important challenges with Donald Trump returning to power. Thune will need to manage Trump's plans, which include tax cuts and measures for border security. The Senate currently has a Republican majority of 53 to 47. He will also oversee confirmation hearings for Trump's cabinet nominees. The U.S. government is dealing with a debt of over $36 trillion, which could lead to a financial crisis if not addressed. That is all the news for today. Thank you for listening to today's Headphone News. News summary brought to you by AI.